Welcome to another Red Hunt video. Story 1. Am I the antagonist for letting my ex-wife's stepdaughter move in with me? About 12 years ago, my ex-wife and I got divorced. We share a 15-year-old son together. After a divorce, she remarried a few years later. Her husband also has a daughter who is 4 years older than my son. This girl has been a part of my son's life for around 10 years. And they've always had a good relationship without any significant issues. My ex and her husband live about an hour and a half away from town. To avoid a 3-hour daily commute, especially during harsh Manitoba winters, they made the decision for her to live with friends while attending college. They budgeted for her living expenses during this time. I've known this girl since she was 7 years old. She's intelligent, charming, and friendly, but she's feeling burned out from school. While I can't excuse her actions, she recently lied to her father and my ex about dropping out of college. She completed her first semester but became overwhelmed and left without informing them. Unfortunately, she held onto the money they provided for housing and food. Although her lying was wrong, I understand her reasons behind it. Her funding was cut off, and she was told to find a job, which is a reasonable expectation if she's not attending school. She had enough money to last until July, and though she found a job, it didn't cover the cost of living in the city. Her father and my ex-wife refused to let her move back home. My son reached out to me, asking if I could assist her. After careful consideration, I agreed. I had available space in my house and instructed my son to have her contact me. We discussed the situation, and she moved in at the beginning of August. She's paying affordable rent, buying her own food, and contributing with household chores. However, my ex-wife found out and became furious with me. Their plan was to push her to a point of desperation, hoping she'd agree to return to college, while they kept a closer watch. By helping her, I disrupted their strategy of not allowing her to become homeless in Winnipeg. Her husband is also upset with me, believing I'm interfering in a situation involving a girl who isn't my blood relative. I understand their viewpoint, but I genuinely believe they're not making the best choices. My main concern is ensuring my son knows she's in a safe environment. I'm hopeful that she will eventually realize the limitations of having only a high school diploma and decide to go back to school. To address a potential misunderstanding, I want to clarify that I have no inappropriate intentions. She's not interested in people with a Y chromosome, and I'm not attracted to someone young enough to be my daughter. It's unfortunate that your ex-wife and her husband have reacted negatively as you're acting out of genuine care. Your intention to provide a safe environment and possibly influence her to consider her educational future is a positive one. The fact that she's not a blood relative is secondary to the fact that she's been a part of your son's life for a significant time. In conclusion, you've made a compassionate choice, and your concern for her well-being and future education is admirable. Navigating these complex situations can be challenging, but your focus on ensuring a safe environment for her and being there for your son speaks volumes about your character. It's important to note that she's not a child, she's an adult, assuming she's at least 18, given her college attendance for a semester. As an adult, she managed to secure a living situation that's safe and cost-effective. She essentially functions as your roommate, much like she would have been with other random strangers on campus. Your actions are setting a positive example for both her and your child. The fact that their plan was to make her desperate enough to agree to their terms is truly disheartening. As someone who has dealt with mental health challenges and pushed themselves to the brink, I empathize deeply. It's infuriating to see a parent knowingly contribute to worsening their child's situation. That's downright cruel. Your intervention may have prevented her from falling into struggles like depression or other hardships. Her reasons for lying likely stem from her circumstances and the lack of support she felt she had. What you're doing is truly commendable and selfless. You're embodying the spirit of friendly Manitoba in every sense. Keep up the fantastic work, and know that I'm proud of you. Story 2. Am I the antagonist for telling my mom she and my baby brother ruined my summer? I, 16, graduated from high school in June, which is quite an accomplishment. I finished early, which I'm proud of. My mom is currently 8 months pregnant and recently welcomed my half-brother, Ben, in October 2021, so he's almost turning 2. My younger brother, Sam, 14-year-old male, spent the entire summer with our dad, who lives 8 hours away, and he just returned 2 days ago. With my stepfather working, it's usually just my mom, Ben, and me at home during most of the day. In the morning, I spend around 2 hours with Ben. During this time, I take care of him by feeding him breakfast, changing his diaper, and playing with him. Additionally, I make breakfast and coffee for my mom while she rests, since she's sleeping at that time. She usually wakes up around 9:30 and has her breakfast. Around 10 a.m., I take her dog for a walk. Once I'm back, I put Ben down for a nap while my mom spends some time on her computer. After Ben wakes up, I prepare his lunch, and my mom feeds him. I then take Ben outside for a walk, and also help water the plants. Since my mom can't easily move up and down the stairs, I assist her by fetching things she needs. In addition to all these responsibilities, I had 2 online classes to attend. On top of that, I was taking care of a sick dog. Since Sam was away, most of the household chores fell on me, which was quite overwhelming. Despite the workload, I've never complained about it. Lately, my mom's behavior has changed, and she's been quite harsh. It doesn't take her long, maybe 5 minutes after seeing me, to start pointing out things I supposedly did wrong or didn't do. She frequently calls me lazy and compares me to other kids my age who have jobs or driver's licenses. While I do aspire to achieve those things, my busy schedule at home doesn't allow me the time to pursue them. I had hoped for a more enjoyable summer, but circumstances were different. I wanted to spend time with my dad and Sam, even for just a week, but my mom declined due to the responsibility of looking after our dog. I used to go to the library downtown, but that's been restricted because of chores or helping with Ben. Similar restrictions were placed on me wanting to go to the movies or the fair with my brother. Yesterday, during my college orientation, my mom sent me complaining texts about dishwasher pods running out. And when I got home, she went on a 20-minute rant about how I neglect my responsibilities. With school starting tomorrow, I'm feeling exhausted and disheartened. Despite feeling upset, I shared my feelings with my mom when she pressed me, although I wasn't initially ready. Her response was to threaten taking away my computer, which I bought and need for college, unless I opened up. So, I explained how overwhelmed and unappreciated I've been feeling, especially as my summer plans got disrupted by her and Ben. In response, she claimed she could manage Ben alone, and sent me to bed. Today is a new day, and she's not communicating with me. She also won't let me assist with Ben. There's a mix of relief and guilt within me, since it's been a while since I've had any personal time. Yet I still feel a sense of remorse. Am I in the wrong here? Taking care of yourself is crucial. While it's relieving to have some personal time, it's also important to address the guilt you're feeling. Remember that your well-being matters, and it's not wrong to prioritize your own needs. The situation at home seems unbalanced and unfair, and it might be worth considering discussing your feelings with a trusted adult, like a teacher or a counselor, who can provide guidance and support. In conclusion, you are certainly not in the wrong here. Your feelings and concerns are valid, and it's important to prioritize your well-being as you navigate these challenging circumstances. You are not the asshole. You should communicate with your dad about everything you've shared in this post. Your mom's behavior seems aimed at making you feel guilty, which is why you're experiencing these negative emotions. This kind of behavior is manipulative. You're just a child, and it's unfortunate that she's putting you in a parental role. I'm really sorry you're having to deal with this. You come across as incredibly caring and considerate, but you're shouldering way more responsibilities than a typical 16-year-old should. I'm not sure if you're able or willing to live with your dad. Maybe you'll have to wait until you can live independently. But what's happening to you right now is incredibly unjust. By the way, congratulations on finishing school early. I genuinely wish you all the best. Being pregnant doesn't justify treating others poorly or having terrible behavior. If your description of your daily routine is accurate, you're going way above and beyond what most kids, and remember, it's 16, you're still technically a kid, do. At your age, your main focus should be on school, not taking care of your younger brother. You absolutely deserve to have time for yourself, like going to the movies and just enjoying your teenage years. It's completely unreasonable for your mom to demand that you open up about what's bothering you, and then react with anger when you do. That's really unfair.